So in order to distort or alter the shape of this muscle, I'm going to select it. You notice these arrows with the move key are gray. That means the muscle is locked, the attributes, and you can see here, you see that gray line going down there, that gray collection of bars, telling you all these translate, rotate, and scale are all locked. So what I'm going to do is with it selected, I'm going to say edit duplicate. And when I go to, my duplicate is also locked. I still have that same gray thing. So I want to move that duplicate. So I'm going to drag with my left mouse down the names of all the attributes and then right mouse and say unlock selected. Now notice when I do that, when I get the move tool, that duplicate is now free to move. Okay. And if we go to the front window, you can see. Okay, so what I want to do is try to mimic the shape of that, or on that mimic rather, I want to alter its shape to suggest that the muscle's contracting. So let's go over here to the perspective window and get a size that you can see. And to do that, there's a number of ways. I can do anything I want. The one key you have to remember is we're going to make what's called a shape blend. And in order to do that, we can only alter the components of this surface: edges, faces, and vertices. So what our goal is basically is this muscle is, or this duplicate is now registered. Every single component is registered to the original. We're going to change the positions and things of this and then use the shape blend to say refer back to that. So that's going to let us change this shape by animating this structure. So that sounds confusing, but it's not as bad as it is if we just take our time. I think we'll see it. All right, so I'm going to got the selection tool here, and I'm going to right mouse, and I don't know how to do that with a pen. Whoops. So I'll do it with my mouse. I'll cheat and I'll say vertex. All right, and then I'm going to go get not the selection, but I'm going to get the third icon down, which is the paintbrush. This is the select brush. So I've got a circle. If I hold down the letter B and drag with the circle depressed, I can change how large an area I select. If I select, you notice it picks up my vertices. Now, the gold and orange, those are all functions of the soft select, which was automatically on. I had used it. If I hit B, let's say I get the move tool and hit B, it should go off. Why aren't you going off? Okay, let's say I get, oh sorry, I don't have a move tool. I've got the move tool. If I hit B, see now these are actually the only vertices, the yellow ones you see, they're the only ones I have selected. When I hit B again, I turn that soft select back on. If I hold the B down and move my mouse, same thing as I did before. See, I'm changing how big an area is being affected. So maybe I'll start a little tighter and grab that and pull that out. So I grabbed the blue arrow, so I moved it out. Now I'm going to make it a little bigger, a little bigger. And now maybe I'll hit R and also make it wider. And I'd like to scale that up a little bit. So if I scale it now in the y-axis, it's just going to, the vertices are going to move towards the center, which is here. I'm going to hold down the letter D and drag that Y arrow. And now when I scale, everything from the bottom is going to move up to the top. And I think that's a little more what I want. And that's kind of, it's a little funky. maybe what I could do is decrease my circle quite a bit, and maybe even just turn the circle off. Or no, let's turn the soft select off. And let's select, and now let's paint select again and see if I can get maybe just a smaller collection. And now I'll move that, put the B back on so I kind of get a little softer distribution, and then again. And maybe here I will actually bring those points in a little bit. Let's see what I'm getting. There you go. That's not a bad little bulge, okay? I can live with that. Maybe I'll make it just a touch wider. Okay. I might even get my brush select tool, come down here a little bit, even widen this just a touch. And maybe just to be interesting, we'll come down here, turn off the select, pick up the select, and maybe take a just almost make it a little thinner because of the tension. Okay. So anyway, you can play with this change any way you want. You may decide you want to make it a little subtler than that, but that's close enough now for what we're going to do. So now we have two versions of the muscle. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the object mode here, and I have this version, which is my copy of my original. Now this original is in the language of blend shape referred to as the target. So this shape is going to stay consistent. The target is going to change. In other words, the target's trying to reach this point. So I'm going to click the original, or I'm sorry, the duplicate first. Then I'm going to hold my command key and select, or hold the shift key, I guess, and select the original, my target. Then I'm going to go into deform, and the top one is blend shape. I'm going to get the option box, and really isn't a lot I want to change. I want to make sure the advanced says automatic. I'm going to go back to basic and just tap quickly here and say bicep. So if I had many shape blends, I would know which one this was. Say create. Now it really doesn't look like anything's happened. If I go under Windows and go to animation editors and come down to shape editor, you'll see that there's actually there's an entry here in the shape editor, and it is my bicep. It says bicep 3 because I've made more of these before. Right now it's the shape blend is at 0. If I go to 1, notice the original muscle now is changing its shape to try to match what the duplicate is doing. If I can make this a little smaller, there you go. You can see a little better maybe. It's okay. So now we'll take a break and then we'll animate this.